All right, fellas. Have y'all heard of the Telepathy Tapes?
Yeah, man. Ooh. Super interesting. Man,
it's this podcast diving into telepathy claims, particularly among non-speaking individuals with autism. Now, some of these stories are actually wild.
Very wild. And I think that there's like a certain fascination that comes with this. Mm-hmm. It's almost like that comic book superhero X-Men feel a little bit.
Yeah, for sure. But it raises some questions though.
Very much so.
It does. And when I was listening to it, guys, I love the mix between those personal stories, but we always have to have that scientific skepticism.
We do.
Right? We do. As BAs, we just make sure that we got to keep that. But it's pretty cool because we don't know if it's real or like what could this do for our nonverbal learners.
I agree. And I was asking, like, what does it mean for like communication and connection? Right. So I have to say, while we don't have the science backing telepathy yet,
we don't have the science.
It's worth exploring. All right. Because some families swear by it, sharing these deep emotions and moments. And that's hard to ignore for me.
Yeah. And I think that, even from, listening to the tapes, watching the YouTube videos, the success rate is very high. I think that some things just can't be explained all the time. Like some things in life just don't make sense, and I think that for a lot of people, that's one of those things,
Right. I agree.
With a 90% pass rate or plus is kind of like...
That is crazy, but it does at the same time make me wonder, like, how do we balance keeping that open perspective that you talked about, but also stay grounded in the evidence that we hold ourselves to, right? Because it's easy to get hope for families, but as scientists, we got to stay critical, right, Joe?
We do. Always have to stay critical. But, maybe this just allows our field to understand that maybe we could use some better tools for our nonverbal learners.
Absolutely.
Maybe updating some of these AUC devices and these other tools that our nonverbal learners have, because maybe they are a little bit more brilliant than what we think. I
agree. And that's honestly what makes this podcast so compelling, right? Because it challenges us to think beyond what we know. So, what about you guys that are watching? What do you guys think? Are you guys open to this? Tell us more in the comments.